should you really trust your 9 to 5 job? Like, just think about it for a second. Should you really trust them? Do you think that I have trust issues? I'm definitely not trying to tell anybody to quit their job or find another one if you're passionate about it and it's working for you. I definitely want to hear about it. But I live in a state, right, where your job or your employer can fire you, let you go, part ways with you nicely, for no given reason, just because it's that time and they feel like it's time to move on, refresh the crops, get some new faces in there, whatever the case may be. They hold the right to just let you go. So you just got to wrap your mind around that for a second and just understand, as I'm just letting you know we're talking about it, right? So I can see your perspective and mindset on it. Um, because I haven't worked at a single company, right, that was even on the same page. So if you're not on the same page, right, if the recruiter is saying something different than the team lead and the team lead saying something different than the trainer, it's like you're not even all the way on the same page um, during the beginning processes, right, the beginning steps of me joining your company. How can I really trust you, or why should I really trust you with my financial future, my future, let alone, but my financial future, and backing. Um, the more jobs that I work, the wiser that I get. I just ask myself these questions and I present them to you to start to get your mind to thinking about it. Like, really think about it. The job or company, probably doesn't care about you. I'm not saying this is true for every single company. Um, my personal opinion is, like, the smaller companies or mom and pop shops, those are the companies that actually have a more of a real feel or more of a sense or vibe that they actually care about you, right? And I know it's not easy running a company, especially these major companies in Fortune 500 type, establishments. I know it's not easy. There's a lot of systems that really are just structured poorly, in my humble opinion. Um, and I like to see both sides of things. Um, as I vent and talk about or express myself, these topics are they're difficult in a sense, right? Not difficult, but they hit home. And I don't mean to come off as negative. I just literally give my honest truth, and share my personal experiences, as best as I can, within the topic, right? And at the end of the day, companies don't care about you. It isn't easy to run your own company, right? So there's different things that come along with it from their end. But what you have to know is they'll let you go for less. Is the job that you're working for worth it? In the sense, literally, money wise, and what most of the time they're forcing you or trying to conform you into something that you're not. They want you to be a robot, and I say robot because I don't like using the word slave, but you really kind of are like a work slave. They want to mold you into, the perfect agent or the perfect employee, so to speak. How they want you to be backing and memorizing, rehearsing, just literally saying their mission statements as a company, right? And I'm all for being the best you can be, being the best worker. But where I'm going with this is that they say, "Oh yeah, be yourself. You can be yourself. Be you. We love the diversity. We love all that." But the second yourself kind of goes out of bounds from what they really want, it's like at the end of the day they say that, but it comes with so many asterisks. Little did we know, or did I know, um, and it's just, messed up that you can't be yourself. And then on top of that, in my humble opinion, they're not paying you enough for it. They're not really giving you any true stability or security at the end of the day. And I understand that there's like tactics to these companies and the hiring process, the whole bit. My whole bone to pick it with it is we're all grown, right? And we shouldn't be beating around the bush as much as it is, especially when you're getting hired on, trying to figure out if a job's even going to be a good fit for you, right? That's when you actually figure out how much you're going to get paid, and then during training, and then the first couple of nesting, or like your first couple of days on the job, basically, right? That's when you really learn the ins and outs. That's when they're willing to disclose what's really going on, what you're really doing, what you really signed up for, because oftentimes it varies a little too much, in my humble opinion, from what you initially thought you were signing up for, or did sign up for, or was told that you would be doing. You catch my drift? It's too many secrets, and you have to fully commit again before you even learn any of the ins and outs. And is the job truly willing to take care of you and your family? I know there's a lot of people that are on the other side of things when it comes to family, and the job is only supposed to take care of one person. Uh, but I plead a case to open your mind up and think about this. The creator, right? God created us to reproduce and to take dominion of the earth, and essentially to create things, be a creator. So if part of us is to reproduce, I'm not saying that if you're not in the best financial situation, go out there and have 4, 5, 6 kids. No, but to sit there and say that at least one job, whatever you're doing as far as the career, right? That one career, that one job, the one source of income, I believe should at least be able to support a family. Just at least just the basics. I know that I want to live in borderline living, I wouldn't say an extravagant lifestyle, but we do have a lot of things that are unnecessary. If you were to look, over my expenses, how much I'm making, the whole bit, especially now, you would say, oh yeah, you're living well above your means. I wouldn't say I'm proud. I'm trying to get to the next level, right? I'm trying to level up and go even higher. So I don't. What I was going to say is I'm not proud to say that, but I am proud because that's where I'm trying to get to and actually be able to afford it. I just need to do it the right way. But the point is, the job should be able to provide for your family. I do believe that, because that's the least that they can do. I'm almost going down this rabbit hole, but I do want to share this with you, because why should that family just be able to be buku rich, right? The company has already, like the CEO, the owner has already essentially taken care of like multiple generations of grandkids. Yet here you are, yet here I am. I can't barely even take care of myself off the one income. How come I'm not getting enough? How come you aren't willing to pay me enough to just take care of me and mine? Like, is that too much to ask for? Clearly it is. And the systems of a lot of these jobs is just wild, because in the grand scheme of things, we getting half of a peanut. I was getting ready to say peanuts plural, but we getting like a half of one peanut. And it blows my mind sometimes. I'm not complaining. I'm just expressing or saying the reality. Sometimes we gotta hear it like this to like just think about it, like, dang, yeah, why should I trust this job? They won't even get me enough to get by. I'm barely scraping by, let alone trying to support and take care of a family. Like, they don't care about you, let alone the family. Like, that's why, probably people, feel the way they do feel, talking about somebody shouldn't even have a kid. And that's just so messed up to me. But without living basic, or being poor, living frugal, right? Saving and living extremely below your means, Like, you shouldn't have to be doing that off of one job just to be able to take care and provide and raise a family. We should be able to live like kings and queens. Um, you know, I'm not even saying that we just got to be buku rich or wealthy just off one income. Like, obviously, I know you have to put in the work, right? But even with the jobs that you go through so much schooling for, you have so many masters, classes, and degrees, right? You end up with tons of debt, and you still off that one job that you get, once you finally go through the internships and all this and that, it is not enough to raise a family. And I'm just talking off of if you only have one kid. You can't sit there and have two, three kids off that one income, even if you do it the way that, and I love it. Like, I'm promoting, I'm not discouraging anybody going to school, getting trades, doing it all the right way, the best that you can do it, the best that we can do it. But even then, I would still pitch the argument that that one income is not enough unless you like living bare minimum. And even then, knowing that it's not enough, knowing that they're not even willing to pay you enough for just you and your family, just off that alone, actions speak louder than words to me. Should you trust that 9 to 5 job? Should all your eggs be in that basket? I understood a 9 to 5 job to be reliable. Work is supposed to essentially take care of us, right? You work the one job, you find the one job in the career that you're passionate about, and it doesn't even feel like work anymore, right? You're working the job, you're working for the company. You got the 401k, you got the medical benefits that come along with it, right? But even with that, and again, not being negative, I'm just letting saying what it is. So even with that, right? I got them, and I go. I had health situations going on. Guys healed me, amen. But you still gotta pay all these copays, and you may have in your job, you may have no copays. That's definitely a blessing. So I know it's out there. I just feel like that's rare. But most of the time, you pay for the top of the line insurance. Yet you still paying, you still having copays. Like, I'm grateful because I saw what the real bill would be, but it's just like, come on, this all should be free. I've learned and I've heard people done told me that in other countries that's just free on the love from the government because they actually care about you being alive, living longer. It's just again, I'm so positive. I almost said, so much for the American dream, but I ain't. Excuse me, I'm not gonna do that because I definitely love living here and grateful to be uh, a black man here in America. But to get back to my point, the job is supposed to be reliable, right? It's supposed to bring you all of these securities, um, and it blows my mind that you still have to do all of your due diligence. You have to scrape and save every little penny, every little coupon. You got to do all this stuff for most of these jobs just to be able to take care of yourself, let alone a family. But it's supposed to be reliable. They try to teach us to go get a job, and they look down upon you if you're not holding a job, right? And the more I think about it, the more that I'm expressing myself, doing the research, sharing this content with you. Um, it I almost like it's part. I need to almost stop, take a break because it's almost like, should I even be working a 9 to 5 job? Shoot, it's like I'm talking about trusting one. It's just like, come on. I got a lot of humble opinions. So in my humble opinion, again, through pure experience of me working and seeing and living this out, especially in these corporate jobs, these corporation jobs, um, they play favorites. So how can I trust you as a company, as an establishment, if I'm busting my butt, working hard, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, working hard, providing value? You've been making nothing but money. I help build your systems, right? And then all of a sudden, you see the position that you wanted being filled by somebody else because they can do it uh cheaper, right? They can save money. Or this is one that I witnessed. uh, because they were, and I don't even want to do it like that, but it is what it is. Because they were an attractive female, right? They got a special position pulled off of the phones. Uh, they have these charts that you can see who's under who works for who reports to who, right? And then you'll see these these attractive women reporting to the big boss, just a direct report, nobody under them, no real job position that makes sense. They're the only ones that have the position. They're making decent money off the phones, like not really doing much of nothing, right? They're, you know, I dislike to say it, but just sitting there looking cute. And it's like, dang, she can do whatever she wants. She moving through here freely, basically like the boss underneath you. What does she even do? And if you know, you know. And it's just so messed up. Like, how can I trust you again with my finances paying me? And how can I trust you that I'm gonna move up and based on my hard work and me doing everything that you're telling me to do? If you know a little cutie can walk in and they getting everything just handed to them, and then I'm just looking like, what's going on. So it's just like, that's again, maybe that one, this story is a little bit too personal, at least for me, as to what goes into why sometimes I would pause myself or pump the brakes on being so quick to trust a 9 to 5 job, especially a corporate job. They tend to dangle the carrot, the false carrot, the false hope over your head, right? Saying, "Oh, you can get this. You'll be able to get here. You'll be able to move. You'll be able to improve. You'll be able to grow. You'll be a leader in no time. You'll be topping sales in no time. You can whatever it is, giving these jobs, the bosses, the higher ups, the recruiting and hiring managers, they dangle a lot of they're selling false dreams basically, and I'm finding that to be common in every single company. Like, this isn't just like I've worked for great companies and I've worked for some that was but all these things in one way, shape, or form have been true in all the work that I've worked, all the jobs that I've worked at. I would say never put all your eggs in the one job basket. That's kind of what I'm getting at, and what I definitely want you to. One of the keys to take out of this video is to really challenge yourself and think: is your job, if you're only working one job, uh, is it worth you only doing that? Especially if you've been there long term. I'm not trying to shake things up too much for you, but just understand at any point in time, if they decide to just no longer want you to work for them, what is your life going to look like? Are you going to have to essentially bleed through all of your savings? If you're smart and you're wise and you did everything the right way, you're one of those people that says, oh yeah, I only buy what I need. I live below my means. Everything is taken care of. I got a good savings. Okay, cool. Once the job strips away your pay, like are we cool with that? Like, are you all right with that? If the amount of money and the time and the experience, that all is just great, that company just left that much of an impression on you, to where if they were to just tell you, oh, you fired, like it was just a joke in a movie on some, you got fired on your day off, but it's really a reality now in 2024. So it's like, if you got fired on your day off, like, are you good with that? Like, you can trust that? You don't. I just I'm trying my best, but I really feel like I have trust issues with jobs. You can be the best employee at your job, the best. If you're not the CEO or owner, you could be you right under. You done crushed it. Did everything that you can do, making buku bucks, big money, and then your company gets bought out. And now you don't even like the systems that the new place did, let alone you got a little pay cut. Let's just throw, you got a little pay cut in there. It's like, how can you trust a job when these examples, this is real life. It happens all the time. So it's like, how can you how can you just trust in that? And like, do you have any real control over your job? Like, I know you may feel like you have real control, but do you? And if you don't have any real control over your 9 to 5 job, how can you trust that? Especially if you have all your eggs in that one basket. Like, you get used to, or at least I did, I got used to living a certain lifestyle, being able to afford a certain lifestyle. And I found myself almost hating the job because I felt like I had to stay at the job because I like to stay positive, but it's like you're not gonna replace, or you do it the smart way, you replace that job, but I'm not good at replacing a job while I'm working a job, especially because I work, multiple jobs. Like, it's just usually turns into I have to like kind of let one go, then I have the time to be able to replace that job. But either way, my point is you get stuck in like, okay, I got this lifestyle to maintain, these bills to pay. So here I am working this job that I dislike. And for some people, already just hate the job and you just feel stuck. And I'm trying to get you to think about it, be smart about it, right? Not trying to, like I said, if you are in a good position, life is treating you great, the job is great, you know, God bless you, and understand that it's a blessing. But then just understand too that they could probably let you go unless you got some good state laws on work that you're protected and you know that you're good. But I feel like the majority of us just keep in mind, or just play it out in your head, stay positive, but just play out in your head, like I said earlier, if you lose this job right now, what is your life going to look like? Just play it out that you don't find a job of that caliber, or even a job for the next 3 or 4 months. What are those accounts looking like? Because I know y'all got that money. I'm gonna get the money. It's coming. But I know a lot of y'all got that money already. But just play it out and just think about it. So I say a lot of all that to say this. I feel like it's key, it's paramount, it's a necessity to have multiple uh streams of income, different sources of income coming in, just not solely relying on a 9 to 5 job anymore. Definitely, if you can, do everything in your power to start working on becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a creator, right? Having control of your own money, so to speak. Obviously, right? We can't force people to buy our products or use our services. But my point is, we're the ones that are control of distributing it out, having it, basically being the boss, being the CEO. Try to become an owner, get on the side of the ownership. Uh, because again, like, I'll ask you one more time, should you trust a 9 to 5 job? Or should you do everything in your power to keep growing, learning, uh, and essentially, should you start running your own business? Should you do everything that you can in your power to start learning and developing, and creating your own business, becoming your own entrepreneur? Or how about this? You be on the other side of the job. You're the owner. Run your own. Have employees. Should you have employees, or should you trust your 9 to 5 job?